So this is our first session, I guess, of our live, get-togethers for this class that we're doing right now, Tidy Tutor University this semester. As you know, or maybe you don't know, you're always welcome to join. So as long as you are a Tidy Tutor University student, once you are one, you're always one. So you always have the four-session class that is recorded, and you also have the in a nutshell, and I call it in a nutshell because it's like each session that's kind of like in a nutshell. It's just little synopsis of it. We go over the high points and you have a chance to ask questions, and whether or not you are on the live call or not, they're recorded and they're in a section of our private member area for Tidy Tutor University students. So you can always join in on these if you want to, for a refresher or just, for the fun of it. All right. So this is our first one and this is the month of April. Yep. All right. It's the very end of April. It's almost May. Now let's see what to do for TTU. But before we go that's what we're going to really go over in this orientation, is like, so that you will be completely successful, and any questions that you might have, we'll address them now, and how to proceed so that it's not confusing. And there's all these little buttons and things to push, so we'll just make sure we go over that. But before we do that, I want to make sure that you're set up for success. I don't know if you know this, but 72% of people who buy self-help products don't use them or don't finish them. I want you to remember why this is important to you. All right. Why? What prompted you to enroll? What was it that made you say, I don't want to live like this anymore. I need help. I'm going to do this. Like, whatever it is that was the motivating factor, I want you to keep that in your head as you go. If you ever had like a diet, where you went on a diet or an exercise routine or something like that, if you ever had something like that was going on in your life, then you know that it starts out really strong and then it peters out after a while, especially if you're really faithful. Because if you're really, really faithful to a diet, you begin to see something. If you're faithful to a physical fitness thing, you begin to see something. You begin to feel better. And somehow that prompts us to be like, oh, I don't really need to do this. We forget. We forget why we started. And so that's something I want you to, keep in your head, so that we don't step in a hole, that we see that hole in front of us. Don't step in it, step over it. Keep it in your head. All right. That's how you're going to set yourself up to succeed. So make a ritual every day of feeling the end result. Okay. Feel what it is that you want, what it is. All right. I want you to get excited. I want you to visualize, and I want to see you to see what you want, whatever your picture is of lovely. All right. Walking out into the kitchen and just getting a mug that's in the cabinet and not in the sink that you have to wash, easily making a pot of coffee or a cup of tea. No, not anything spilling out of a cabinet, or when you walk into the bathroom, it's easy. You're not stepping on anything. You grab a towel, getting the things you want to wear. Like, visualize the kind of life that you want to live. No more mess, no more clutter. Now, the reason I put this up here is this is something that's on my Pinterest board. I don't know if you know anything about Pinterest. It's a website. I have nothing to do with it. But, one thing that I do in Tidy Tutor University is I try to get us to see, how do we tick? We're not the Martha Stewart types. We're never going to be. Let's not try to do things the way we've always tried to do things before that didn't work, the way other people do them, the way people do them that don't think like us. How do you tick? Now, one of the things that we like to do is we like to get distracted, right? We like to, start something, and then a little while later, we don't want to do it anymore. One of the things that I like to do is, when I feel like I don't want to do this anymore, or I feel like, oh my God, this is so boring. Whenever we start a project, maybe depends on what kind of project it is. It could be 20 seconds into it, it could be an hour into it. We don't want to do it anymore. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go on my Pinterest board, and I have one of them that's called My Funky House. And I just, anything that inspires me that I'd like to do to my house, or it just make, there's some things that would never be able to be done to my house, but it makes me feel like, you never watch like a movie, like I was just watching The Blind Side, that movie. And anyway, I was just watching it, and I'm watching her walk up the stairs of her lovely home. And I'm thinking, you know what? It makes me happy. It makes me feel like, like I can have that. And, people live that way. People live that way. I used to belong to Al Anon, and I guess once you belong to Al Anon, you always do. It's a support group for people who are involved with people who are alcoholics or people with addictions. And when I was sitting in the rooms, a lot of times I'd hear people say, you know what, that's not like that in real life. It's only like that on television. And it's really not. Just because you have an experience doesn't mean it's not real. So, if there's screaming and craziness all the time, and that's all you've experienced, well, I've seen it that there isn't. There's lots of people that don't live that way, and in a mess, the same thing. Like when we're so used to living in such a big mess, when we see TV shows like that or movies like that, you tend to think to yourself, nobody lives like that. You know what? They do. I think that, sometimes we think, well, it's not like that when nobody's around. And granted, nothing's perfect. We get into that in Tidy Tutor University quite a bit about how, people who are organizationally gifted, they have their moments. But the thing is that because they don't have access, because they know what to do and when to do it, when they have their moments, it's easily fixed. So anyway, the whole purpose to this one particular, you know, board here is that, if you do something like that, if when you get to the point where you just think, I don't want to do this anymore, and before that happens, you get a little, start a Pinterest board and start it, my inspiration or my inspirational house, and you just put up things, pictures from the internet that inspire you, and you can go in there, you can play around a little bit, and it'll kind of energize you to, to move on and to keep going. Okay. So that's a way for us to, like use the way we tick. Don't try to not distract yourself. You're going to just distract yourself in a healthy way. And a lot of what we do in Tidy Tutor University, in our membership site and in our group, in our Facebook group, is exactly that, because we can, instead of like saying, I don't want to do this anymore and getting distracted by playing on the computer, we'll go on the computer and we'll go into our members area, into our private group, because we have a private Facebook group that if you're not a part of, you will be. You just have to friend request me. Then you go in there and you say, I have some work to do. Anybody working? And then you'll get people to chime in. Yeah, what do you have going on? What's going on for you today? All right, I have 5 things I want to do, or whatever it is that you're going on. And then so that gives you the distraction, or the what's the word? Oh, I hate when I can't remember words. Anyway, it gives you what you need to, feed the, ADD in you, if I hate to admit that, but to feed motivation. Thank you very much, Paula. To give you the motivation to do what it is that you want to do. Okay? All right. Now, this is something else, and I believe I have it. Yeah, I do. Let me. I have it typed up here so that you could click on this link, and you don't have, just copy it or something. Copy it and so that you have it. This will help you to keep motivated. It's also inside of our members area in our coffee talk. It's like, why is it important to be a housekeeper? And it really helps to, keep you going, because let's face it, we don't like to clean. If it isn't fun, we don't want to do it, but we like the end result. So sometimes if we remember why we want to, or how important it is. When I used to study nutrition, I remember I was so faithful with eating because I was studying it. My face was always in a book about, what was happening to my body when I was eating this, how my body reacted to that. And it was really easy to say, no to bread, no to cold cuts. Really super easy because the motivation was there by me, blatantly seeing how important it really was. Well, after a while, we forget about how important things are and then we go back to our old ways. And this is one of those things that will help you. It really goes into the down and dirty of how important, no pun intended, how important being a housekeeper is and really what the word housekeeper means. It means you're a keeper at home, it's a guardian of the home. There's a whole lot to it. All right. All right. So now this is a quote from an American entrepreneur, author, and motivational speaker, Jim Rohn. And he said, your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. I always say doing nothing gets us nowhere. So I commend you all for doing this. Lots of people want to do things, but that doesn't mean that they do them. It's only the people that do things that see things happen in their life. And I'm really excited that you've decided to, be a part of this. And I applaud you. All right. Now, before we go into what to do for Tidy Tutor University, like I said we were going to do, I want to give you some advice and kind of like a little head start sort of thing about how to proceed. I want you to not worry about the mess that is in the house now. All right. Now, everybody has their degree of mess. Okay. Some people are buried. Some people have just continued to bring things into their home until they just didn't know what to do anymore. They have, it isn't only their storeroom or their basement or, the everything that people can't see when they come in their house. It's everything and nobody could come in their house. Some people don't have that. Some people it's what I said. And then other people it's just like to maybe you or me or somebody that's in, that has been in a real disaster or is in one. It could look like, what are you talking about? You don't have anything wrong. But you know what? It isn't about what our opinion is. It really, there's no judgment here. All right. And I understand how it could get horrific, and I understand how something as small as a couple of closets that you can't and your trunk that you can't get control over makes you crazy. So um, it's everybody has their own story, their own thing that's going on with them right now. Okay, so if I talk about something and you aren't in such a disaster where you have to like chisel the bathroom counter before you can actually clean it first, then just realize that there's a group of people here and everybody has their own mess that they're dealing with. So don't take it to heart. I'm not talking to you. All right. And so just you get it. Okay. So I want you to not worry about the mess that's there now, okay? Anything that you've got going on right now, we're going to take care of it step by step, okay? It's a routine that we have. It's a system. But what I do want you to do is I want you to take notice what you do now. So like let's say your kitchen is a disaster. You have like there's not one clean dish or fork in the drawer, and if you wanted to clean the table, you'd have to get a hot rag and a spatula to get that table cleaned up. Let's say it's like that, all right? Still, you're going to walk into that kitchen tomorrow morning. Now, you're not going to tackle the kitchen tomorrow morning because there's a system and there's a way that we do this. And tomorrow morning, most likely, is not going to be your kitchen, although we do get the dishes started. We do start the dishes. We do start the laundry. There are certain things that we incorporate immediately, and one of them is the dishes. But let's just say you walk into your kitchen tomorrow and you leave the kitchen. You did something when you were in there. Whatever you did right now, those are the things I want you to take care of in every single room you go in. We're creating new habits, and this is something that I want you to begin doing. All right, before you leave any room from now on, take a good look at it and begin to be conscious of your unconscious clutter. All right, and I want you to just take care of what you did now. So as we're moving forward, with the course that you're taking. All right. You're going to have specific things to do one by one, day by day or week by week, actually, because it's 4 weeks, 1 week, 1 week of a session. So you're going to take a session to tomorrow, say, right? And you're going to work on it for a week. And then you're going to take the next session and work on it for a week. And there's specific things to do in each session, and each one builds on the next. Please don't think you could jump to session 4 and, get it happening. It will not work that way. All right. So, and listen, let me tell you something too. If you have anybody helping you with this that's organizationally gifted, right now, you've got to tell them, you know what, thank you so much for wanting to help me, but I need to do this alone. All right. They don't get you, they don't understand you, and it won't work. I've had that happen before a few times that, that I know of, that I've been spoken to about. And each time, the person who was organizationally gifted said, oh my God, this is so much. It's really not so much. It's so much for them because to them, it's all automatic. If you had to look at if you had to write down how it was to tie a shoe, it would probably take up 6 sheets of paper to write that down. If somebody said, all right, here's the instructions for tying a shoe, you already know how to tie a shoe. You're going to look at that and say, are you kidding me? But if you don't know how to tie a shoe, you're going to have to look at those instructions. And so you can't have somebody say to you, oh, forget about it. That's ridiculous. Here, just do this. That ain't going to work. All right. So, and another thing too is don't tell anybody what you're doing. If you already did tell somebody, then, leave it alone. Just, forget about it because, for one thing, you don't want discouragement. And for another thing, sometimes when we tell people something happens in our brains where we feel like this, and this is scientifically proven, that we feel this false sense of accomplishment. When you tell somebody an idea, sometimes it feels like you've done it already, and then you don't do it. And so, if you ever wonder why sometimes you haven't done things that you wanted to do, one reason is because there's so many naysayers out there that you get discouraged. And another reason is that thing that happens psychologically where we feel like we've done it already. All right. So make this be something that's just yours. This is what you're working on. You're taking a class, and really take it that seriously. You're leaving the house. If that's what you have to do, then do it. I do that all the time because I take classes all the time. I take little webinars. I'll take no, it doesn't matter. Don't have to go into detail. Sometimes I beat a dead horse. But I'll do that. I'll leave the house because I know if I stay in the house, I'm going to be distracted. Somebody's going to need me. So I'll go to the library. I'll plug in on one of their computers and I'll do it there. I'll take a laptop to Barnes and Noble and I'll stick it in there or somewhere that has has Wi-Fi. If that's what you have to do, then do it. If you were taking a night course, you would do that. You would have to leave the house. So, don't think that and if you that's something that you can't do, then take time aside to do this. Whoever it is that you live with, if you live with anybody, tell them, between 4 and 5 or between 7 and 8 on Tuesdays, I'm going to be in my bedroom. Just leave me alone. I'll just be there for an hour. All right. You deserve an hour. All right, so I went off on a tangent. That's something. So this here is what I want us to do. All right, this is something that's really important that I want you to begin to incorporate right now, and this is something you'll do forever. Like I still do this. Okay, all right. Now here's something else. Now there's something else that I want you to incorporate and begin now. Is I want you to do something in your bedroom every time you leave it. See, we tackle the house a zone at a time, a section at a time. But our bedroom is something that we're not in the rest of the house all the time. Of course, we're in the kitchen like all the time. We're in the bathroom all the time. There are other parts of the house that we're not in all the time. But our bedroom is something that, it's been proven that our health improves when our bedrooms are clean and clear. Children's behavior improves. There's lots of scientific evidence about our bedrooms. And then, of course, if you believe in, like the art of placement, what is that called? feng shui. It all matters. It matters to your relationships. It matters to your health. It matters to your happiness, to your success. So we're going to do one thing in our bedroom every time we leave it. And now I'm not telling you to clean your bedroom, okay? No, there is a system and a way to do Tidy Tutor University, and we're doing it. This is just something that I'm asking you or telling you that it's important to do and to start right now. Do you have to do this for it to work? No, you don't have to do this for it to work, but you'll be happy to do it. All right. So when you leave your room every morning, just do something. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It doesn't have to be a bunch of things. It doesn't even have to take any time. Because if you have a mug on your nightstand, it doesn't take any time for you to grab that mug and walk out with it. Okay. Do something like anything that doesn't belong there, bring it out with you. If there's anything that has to get thrown away, throw it away. Do something in your bedroom every day. All right. From now on, this isn't in the course. I don't say this to do this in the course. I'm saying to do this in our orientation. Okay. All right. All right. Now we're going to talk about what to do for Tidy Tutor University. And remember, if you have any questions, you can, um, you can just raise your hand or tell me that you want to interrupt me or whatever. Okay. Have a question. All right, so we're going to go over the welcome letter that you got. If you didn't get a welcome letter, please email me, all right? Kathy@thetidytutor.com. You can call me too. My phone number is 201, here, I'll put it in here, 201-290-4549. I would prefer a text first. I just call you back. So if you text message me first, that would be better. Like, can I call you now? And then I'll let you know. No, call me in an hour or something like that. And you can, if you need to get me now, text message me. But I mean, you can call me too. It's fine. If you didn't get a welcome letter, wait. Then go to spam. Go to your spam and see if it's in there first. All right. So this is verbatim what's in the letter. All right. You go to www.thetidytutor.com. You scroll down a bit on the page, and then you click on Tidy Tutor University students. Now, we're going to do this together right now, okay? So wait, let me go back. So here is tidytutor.com. All right, so you go to tidytutor.com and you scroll down. When you scroll down, you'll come to a section, there, Tidy Tutor University students. See that? So the way to get into Tidy Tutor University is you log in. See, Tidy Tutor University students, and you click here, and you're logging in. And then you have to put in your username and password. You got a username and a password when you enrolled. I believe you're able to change your password. So here is mine. I'm already there, and I'm going to log in. All right. So this is what comes up when you're logged in. Okay. Now it'll say howdy, whatever your name is. This says howdy, the Tidy Tutor. All right. And you scroll down, and right here where it says Tidy Tutor University students, here it says take TTU here. You click on that, and Tidy Tutor University comes up. And this is one session. I just broke them up into parts. And the reason for that is because it's an hour long. If you were with me and we did this live, we'd be together for a full hour. And you get to like take little breaks and talk in between and ask questions and stuff and go over something if you need to. And also it just makes it easier so that if for whatever reason, say you had to answer the door or something like that, you could just stop it and know, all right, I stopped it on part 3. And I just think, I just thought it was more user friendly to do it this way. So this is actually one session. I just broke it up into parts. Also, you have notes. I really encourage you not to, what's the word? Not to print out the notes. Don't print them out. We have enough papers laying around the house. It's on your computer. It'll be there when you need it. Here is a video that it helps you get started. It's if the house is a big mess right now, and you're taking the course and you're doing things, like systematically, still you kind of want to see a cleaned up kitchen and a cleaned up living room. We all know that getting the house cleaned up is not our problem. It's keeping it that way. And that's what Tidy Tutor University will do for you. It'll help you. It will not just help you keep it that way. It will make it that your house stays that way. Because of the system that organizationally gifted people just do automatically. there's bonus videos, and this is the same for each and every session. If you click, when you're done with session 1, you're going to practice that for a full week. You go to session 2, and then here's session 2, and you have notes and bonus videos for this. All right, same thing for 3 and 4, and they're all broken up into small parts. Okay, all right. So let's see. Let's go over this. Every week we're going to have a review call, and we're going to go over the session that we just completed. And the reason that I have this little like X thing there is because it's a little different now. It says here, this was in your welcome letter, to know when our orientation date and review calls are, log in to Tidy Tutor University, click on the Sessions in a Nutshell icon, and all of the details are in there. I've changed it so that it's the details are in here. See, it says register here for our TTU orientation and live session reviews. You just click on here, and that's where you get all the information that you need to to get into. And we're going to do that now so that you can see it. All right, let's go back to home. All right, scroll a little bit. All right, see here, register here. You click on there, dun, 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 and then see here's all the dates. So all of your information is there. Now, for some reason, when you click on this, in case you see, it says this webinar meets 5 times. You're expected to attend all 5 sessions. And when you'll see that is when you click on this to register. So you click on that to register, and this is where you actually register for our meetings that we're going to have, our live meetings, okay? And when you do that, for some reason it says this webinar meets 5 times. You're expected to attend all 5 sessions. This is something that I have no control over. The software company, GoToWebinar, they have this in there, and I have no control over that. You're not expected to attend all 5 sessions. You're expected to go over these 5 sessions that when they're going to be recorded and put into our in a nutshell area, but you don't have to show up for them live. And then what happens is for the in a nutshell, these are where they're recorded. Right now, like the orientation that we're doing right now, I'll edit it and I'll put it in here, right underneath here. All your questions answered to successfully take TTU. So the recording that what we're doing right now will be right here under between this and session 1 review. This I'm going to delete. Session 1 review, session 2 review, session 3 review, and session 4 review. I'm going to delete these now because these were for our last class that we had, the last semester that we had for Tidy Tutor University. When we met, each time we met, I recorded them and I placed them in here so that you could listen to them as often as you wanted during the week, any other time that you felt like it, or if you couldn't make the session, you would have it available to you to listen to and to watch. All right, so that's what that is. Okay, now, all right, now this is important. I want you to Facebook friend request me, okay? I'm going to type it in here. It's what is it? It's facebook.com/cat.roberts 5. Okay, there. So that's the link for my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page, because the way Facebook makes it is that no one can join a page unless I'm not allowed to invite you into a page unless you're my friend. And I can't friend request you first because then somebody could say, well, she's not my friend and she friend requested me. And Facebook looks down on that and I could get booted. So you have to friend request me and then I'll add you to the group. Go into, private message me and say, I'm in part of Tidy Tutor University. Please put me in the group. Now, the group that we're in is private. So, we all understand each other. We all know what we're all about. And so you don't have to feel, nervous that anybody that is going to see it. You don't have to be nervous that anybody's going to judge you. We're all in the same boat. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, don't forget that you have, we have an elite members area, ttinsiders.com. You might have noticed that. Let me show you. And in here, let's go home. Okay. Here we have on this page, this is these here, habits, routines, cleaning with company. This is something that is available to people that is in our membership group. You have this available to you for 30 days. Okay. So take advantage of it while you can. Oh, I just wanted to let you know that it's about 9.95. I think it is a month right now, and it has to go up because I can't continue to do it for what I'm doing it for now. But whoever is in it at that price, it'll never go up for them, and I promise you that. Okay. I also want to talk to you about our coffee talks that we have. We have a coffee talk once a week, and that's where we get together live. The times change according to the season because I try to make it friendly for people, because there's people like over in Ireland, and they're about, I don't know, like 7 hours later than here. There's people in Mexico, there's people all over the place, and California's 3 hours earlier than here. So I do it seasonally. I change the times. So this way, if you can't make it live, it doesn't matter, because coffee talks are always archived, they're always recorded. But if you can make it live, you can. And we have one a week where we get together, and it's really motivational, and it helps. This is what you do. You go to Tidy Tutor in ttinsiders.com, and this little strip comes, and if you register, you click right here, register, and then on that page it will show you exactly the times that we have. Like right now I have 3 scheduled, and they're for 9 in the morning, May 1st, 8th, and 15th. And then you just click to register, and that's how that works. And then as you see here, this is what you see on the website. These are the archives. So you just click on here and all of them come up. And we have a search bar. So if there's anything that you're particularly looking for, like how to restart, or my comfort zones, something like that, something that you remember hearing about but you can't find, you can put it in the search bar and it'll come up for you. Another thing you got was my book, Finally Organized. And I've heard a lot from people that it helps to read it as you're taking the course, or reading it before you take the course or after it, that kind of thing. I've heard that people like that. It is exactly what the course is. It's just not in video form, although there are videos attached to it, but not the course. There's like videos of, like, do the dishes, that kind of thing. Now, something I want to let you know about the book is it works if you try to scroll. It's really difficult. Like I'm scrolling, it's real difficult to read the book scrolling, because you can't navigate pages. But if you use the what's it called, the down arrow, the down arrow brings you page to page. So when you do open up the book, what happens is it's going to come to you as a link and a download. So you click it, it'll download. You go into your downloads file, and then you can save it wherever you want to on your computer. All right. And then when you open it, then you use your down arrow, and it'll do pages for you. It'll go page by page. If you scroll, it's going to be really hard to do. Okay. All right. So there's that. Go away. All right. Now I'm going to open it up for any questions. If anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them. Nothing? No one? Anyone? If anybody has anything that they'd like to talk about, like anything that, any challenges they have, any concerns they might have, any struggles, any circumstances that they feel like might be a little different for them. Nothing? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, Anna said nice session. Oh, thanks, Anna. All right, this is the last thing I want to say. I want you to appreciate the beginning. When you're getting started, you're going to kind of feel frustrated, and you're going to feel overwhelming maybe at times. It's a little bit like a roller coaster doing what we're doing. Whenever you challenge yourself, whenever you challenge something that has been, let me do this so that we see the whole screen. Okay. Whenever you challenge anything in your life that is against the status quo, that's different than you've been used to doing, it's like stirring a pot. It looks so clear, so lovely, but there's stuff on the bottom of that pot. And unless you stir it, you never know. But you know what? It's there. It's in there. When you stir it up, that's the only time you could start skimming it off. That's the only time you can get that stuff out of there. And it's uncomfortable. It isn't pleasant. It's never pleasant when we stir the pot. And that's kind of what happens, all right? So I want you instead, I want to just tell you now, okay, that in hindsight, later on, you're going to look back at the beginning moments that you thought were like, crazy, and you're going to wish you had them back again, because it's really such an exciting time. So many things are changing. We had one student, she was like a lover of animals, okay, and she could not say no. She just was continually rescuing, and these people knew to ask her for help, because she'd always say yes, and they'd promise her, no, this dog is not staying, this cat is not staying, I promise, we're taking this cat. And then 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, oh, we can't find a home for, we're gonna have to put her down, and so she was living in, like, I can't live like this anymore. It was, and then the house was infested with fleas. It was a nightmare, all right? That she she really like came out like a victorious woman, because for one thing, what it would have been with all of that without this kind of help. But for another thing, um, what she felt like in the beginning, it was wonderful. Because you're in the throes of something, it feels yucky. But then when you have a time to step back and take a look, you realize really how wonderful it really was. And so that's what I want you to do, all right? Every single time you say to yourself, anything that's discouraging at all, I want you to step out of yourself for the moment, all right? Step out of yourself for the moment and just look at what you're doing. Look at the progress you've made, and really tell yourself, in another month, I'm not going to even recognize this anymore. I'm not going to recognize myself anymore. And I'm going to really wish I had this time back, because it really is a special time. All right. So I want you to enjoy the journey. I think that's my whole point to that. All right. So that's it. If there's no questions, then I'll close out. All right. Let's see. Um, Alice said, thank you, Kathy. All your words are so helpful. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks so much. Thank you for the great review. So good to enjoy the journey. Yeah, that's wonderful. This is Paula, who just took the course, and this is her second go round, because she just wanted to be here, and it's so exciting to see. It really is. And one of the greatest things about being in our Facebook group is you get to like kind of enjoy the journey with other people, and you get to see other people's progress, and it's so encouraging. It's wonderful. And then other things too happen, like somebody that you see in there, and they're like, there they are, there they are, there they are, and then all of a sudden something happens. They've been there maybe 3 months, 6 months, and they're just participating here and there, and then all of a sudden, boom, something just happens, and you get to be there for that. So, and it's great to see that everybody has their progression, the progression of things. The thing is with this course is it only works if you work it. Okay. It is easily implemented. It's something that everybody could do. And remember this too. Okay. I say this in the course, but I don't think I could say this enough. If you didn't have to practice, you would already be good at it. Every time you start something, it doesn't start out good, because you don't know how to do it yet. So don't be discouraged that everything isn't coming right, or you didn't do everything today. If you're learning how to play the guitar, the first a long time you're going to be playing, and you're going to hear more sour notes than good notes. You're not going to quit playing. That's the drill. That's the drill. When you're playing an instrument for the first time, it sounds bad first. It's the same thing here. You're taking a course, you're learning something new. So don't beat yourself up that the first day you didn't do 3 things. Did you do 6 things? Rejoice in the 6 things you did. Tomorrow, say, you know what, one of those three things I'm gonna incorporate today, and then do what you can. All right, do your best every day. When I first started learning how to play the guitar, I called my brother John. I didn't know how to play, and I taught myself. So I said, John, I want to play the guitar. What do I do? So he told me, he told me a couple things to do, and then he said, just play every day, you'll get better. And then I would say, but John, wait, listen, there's this. No, Kathy, just play every day, you'll get better. And it's the same thing here. It really is so true. It really, really is. Just practice every day, you'll get better. Okay? All right. So I'm going to close out now and welcome you. Really, thank you so much. Please don't forget to Facebook friend request me. You have my you have all my information how to contact me. If ever there's ever an issue with the website or with you getting in or anything like that, if I can't get to it, most likely my assistant will. And if she can't, as soon as I'm able to, I will. All right. You're never going to be like left in a lurch, and you have my phone number. So, you've always got me. All right. All right, I'm Xing out. Have a lovely night. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week, okay, on our first review call, and I'll see you on the Facebook page.